Yeah, good morning. My name is Barbara Mbofo. Today I just want to talk a few things of thanking my God, praising Him. It's Sunday today. I feel my spirit very low, very, very low, because I had a bad dream. So with this dream, I just want to say I'll overcome it, no matter what, because I know God will never leave me. God is always with me. God is the one who created me. To all my enemies, whether it's from the kingdom of darkness, whether they come and enter in my close friends, my people that I work with, to my place where I live in my community. I just want to tell you, devil, you're a liar. You're really a liar. No matter whether you come in my dreams trying to attack me, trying to disgrace me, trying to cause any troubles against me, you're a liar. I pray with Isaiah 41 verse 10. I fear not, and God is with me. God will protect me in every circumstances, in every difficulty, in everything that you think that I'll fail. And I'm not going to fail, because my trust is in Him. He is the one who molded me. He's the one who will bring me in this earth. He's the one who will keep me safe. So if He's too good for me, why should I abandon Him? No. So I just want to say to each and every person who is going through challenges, who is going through difficulties because of the enemies, because of the evil spirit, because of the evil attacks, just keep on holding. Trust, tell your God. And God, where He is watching, is seeing who is your enemies who are trying to form things bad against you. So as a person, remain intact with your God. Stay closer to Him. Tell Him, and He knows all those your enemies. You need to pray. You can open the Psalms 35. You can open Psalms 91. You can open Psalms 27. For those enemies who are trying to attack you. Then for defensive, for the verses of defensive, you need to pray with Ephesians 6 verse 10. Always wear the armor of God. When the devil with his omission, with his group, when they try to bring all sorrows, disappointments, and all the afflictions against you, it will never work. I just want to say this as a person. I'm not going to raise my voice to shout. I'm going to say in a lower voice, because it needs justice. I'm just general talking. Whether I'm talking to my God, I'm talking to you, I'm talking to whoever who is experiencing this. As a person, you do something, God bless you, God give you what you need. And when you get that, don't think it's all people who like that success on you. Don't think it's every person who wish you to see you doing good. Because people, they are evil. When they see you doing it, when they are failing, they'll find a way how to attack you and try to cause any conflicts against you. So here's a person, if you're smart enough, always leave everything to God. Pray to your God. Ask your God to give you shield, to protect you, to be under His hands, to be under His umbrella, under His wings. When they come and form their evil attacks on you, don't fear. Just remain close to Him. Pray almost every day if you can, but every time while you are sitting, whether you are eating, whether you're walking, whether you're doing anything indoors, you are hoovering, you're cleaning, you're tidying up, keep on praying, because the devil is always there watching you. He's watching you, seeing all your movement that you do. Sometimes that's why you see, like, if let's say there's something comes in good, the devil will try to put the block before it happens, because they know, sometimes they know behindhand to say, oh, this person is being blessed by cause, let's try to cause conflicts and cause problem on that. then she'll fail, she won't do anything. But as a person, keep on praying. Talk to God every day. God, please don't leave me. Hold my hand. Protect me. Even if no matter how big is the enemy are they coming, whether it's a strong man, whether it's a strong woman, whether it's the spiritual husband, spiritual attacks, Father, give me strength. Let me fight it. Let it out of my way. Let me be strong. And when they come, I mustn't fear. If I can fight it myself, give me the weapons. Change my hands to be the weapon and fight that and destroy that enemy. Because if you fight it once, it won't come. It will stay some time and they will come again. As we heard in the Bible, when Jesus, he was on fasting. He was fighting devil. He was fighting the evil. But still the devil will come when you're in the middle of your prayers. When you're trying to be close to God, he's trying to take you away from God. He's trying to distract you. So here's a person, don't allow the devil to distract you in any circumstances. Me, I'd rather stay by myself talking the word of God. I feel better. I know sometimes they say it's not good. You need to have friends and you interact with friends. Those friends that you say they are friends, sometimes you try to help them with good heart. Let's say they are jobless. You've got a job. You offer them job. When they get the job, they work for you. When they finish, when they leave, they'll find a problem to claim against you, or they'll go and report you, or they'll go and say something which is unnecessary. By the time when they came and work for you, they never see any problem. But now when they are green pastures, now when they're leaving from that stepstone to go to another level, now they'll see you like as if you're a person who is horrible. God, you're the one who gave me this, what I have. God, you're the one who blessed me. And I'll never do evil to a person. Because I know all these people you gave me, I can't do this business by myself. But I need your stretch. I need your hand. I need your hand to help me, to send these destiny helpers to come and help me, to work with them in peace. But people, they take advantage when they see maybe you've got a problem. You know, to be a leader, I see in the book of Leviticus, Moses, he was a leader for the Israelites. He took them from Canaan, he took them from Egypt and put them to the promised land. So to do that, it was a challenge because God was telling him, and God was not joking with him. He just tell him to say, go and tell so and so and so and so and so, period. He can't say, no, God, no, this, no. You have to go by that. But people, they don't understand. There's some people who are pig-headed. When you tell them to say, look, let's do this and this, they want things to be done their own way. They don't realize you're working under circumstances. You are under something. And maybe that person is coming, he beg you to say, help me. You help with your heart. You give them what they need. They feed their children. They do what they want. When they finish, they'll come and turn back to you and stab you. Father, I pray with the Revolution 13 verse 10. Protect me to every enemy who want me to be in trouble, the enemy who try to cause trouble against my wealth, against my business, against my house, against my life. Father, give me protection because I never done wrong. Till now, if I did wrong, forgive me. But I know very well is the spirit of darkness, whether it's the spirit for my family. You know, sometimes in life, when you do have something, the spirit, when you see you're overcoming them, this evil spirit, when you see you're overcoming them, they came in a different way. They came in a different way to attack you. They can come as a police, they come as dogs, they come as bird, they come as a human, they come as python, they come as different anything in your life. But here's a person, if you understand the battle of the evil spirit and you have to know to say, no, this is not a normal thing. This is a battles that I'm fighting. But this battle, I have to overcome every battle that I've confront. No matter your friends, no matter whoever is created, let it turn back to the sender. Let it turn back to the owner who is creating all these problems against your life. against your business, against your marriage, against your family, against your virtues, against your progress, against your success. Every person who is forming evil against you, let that thing go back to the person. Because there's a verse, it says, no weapon shall form against you shall prosper. Oh, I will never leave you nor forsake you. It's God who's saying he's saying that. Whenever the devil is coming as big as a mountain, it came as big as a sea, it came as big as a house. Just come to manipulate, to cause conflict over your life. Reject it, refuse it. Even those people who form the gang against you, try to attack you. Pray for them, all of them one by one. And pray like with the prayer for Goliath and David. David, he had a stone to manage to, 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 to destroy a big man who is big as any, as tall, as feet, as giant as anything. But Goliath, David, with his small body, he managed to manipulate that. It's the prayer that I do each and every day. I sit down in my house, I pray, ask God for protection, ask God to fight all those massive, big attacks. That they come in gangs, that they come as a community, that they come as men, as bees. They come to attack me. Some, they come as a big giant thing, just come to attack you, just to want to manipulate you. I refuse and I rebuke in the name of Jesus Christ. Father, cover me with your blood of Jesus. Soak my body and turn my hands to be the weapon. The angels of heaven, they have to come here to guide me each and every day. I'm not going to fear anything, and I'm not going to give chance to anybody. And I keep on saying this. And so, as I said, you won't understand my topic that I want to say. I want to say to be a leadership. Whether you are in a church, in a ministry, whether you are in a business, whether you are in a school as a teacher, whether you are what you do, the leadership, whether you are the house, in your wife in the house, or the father in the house, all those spirits, they come attack you. Whether if your family, like a husband and wife, they will come and attack your children. They cause any confusion in your family, maybe divorces, separations, and all kinds of stuff, just to try to annoy you, try to destroy your finances. You can't see your finance go well. Everything will be just collapsing as a person. So if you as a teacher, everything, when you teach people, their ears, they tend to be deaf. They won't hear. They won't hear what you're saying. Because some, they'll start criticizing that spirit, because it comes and stay on you, just to try to manipulate that, to control, to destroy everything that you're saying. So as a person, refuse that spirit of darkness. Refuse it. Because it's not all the people who want to see everyone's success. Nobody. People, they wish some people bad. They'll say, oh, I wish it's me, or I wish that thing is gone. Or whether you're running a business, I wish, even when they see you are running challenges, or they'll be monitoring you to see how far, how does it go, that is going up, they'll be monitoring you, want to see. But they don't know to say the person who is having that thing, and that blessing, it comes from the God. You came to God himself, the one who give you to say, my child, have this hobby for me. Or I want you to feed my children. I want you to look after other people. The people that are sent to you to come work with you, they are coming from me. And the contracts that you have is me who give those people to take you. But people, all those things, they don't know. They think only for themselves, just to come in to be destroyers, to come and destroy for you. They don't know they are not fighting you, but they are fighting the God, the one who has blessed you and the one who gave you. Hopefully I'm talking to people who's listening. And as I say, here's Moses. Look, Moses, what he go through. He has brothers and sisters. Brother and his sister. All of them, they were under him. But God decides to use him for everything. He tells him everything was coming in his ear. And even Aaron, sometimes he was hear what God tells him. Say, do this and this and this and this. Do that and this and this and this and this. And Moses, you will follow that. Every this you can hear in Leviticus, from the beginning until to 27. God, he talk he explained to say, people, we always do sins. We do things that he doesn't like. God, he doesn't like any sin. He doesn't like evil. He said, if you do something evil, now with God, you need to to give an offering. You need to offer. There was a sin offering. There was a guilt offering. So with the guilt offering and with the sin offering, either you use the ram, the cow, and sometimes you do the bread, the fruits, or all those things. When you do, he said, if there's a lot of fat, you need to remove all the intestine and everything. You put in this bag. It has to be, there's a way how it has to be sacrificed. It is the way how it has to be followed. All the instructions Moses was to be given, and he have to give to the person who is doing or whatever the offering. So here's a person, as I said, in Moses' circumstances, Moses was given all the power. And how good was that? Moses was the chosen one, and he was blessed. It's not all of us who hear the voice of God. The voice of God is heard by those who trust in him, who believe, who give all their hearts to the Lord. So as a person, you need to give yourself to God. Do good, don't good bad. Because God, he said, I am God, I'm holy. He always keep on saying that. I hear this to say, I'm God, I'm holy. In Old Testament is where he's telling people to say, I'm holy and I'm good. And God, he gave all the regulations of concerning about to do the offerings, to do the offerings, about the guilt and the sin. So here's all those regulations. They have to be followed accordingly, with the way how he said. Because if you do it anyhow, to him it doesn't. It was not working. It's not the way how to do it. Let's say you are blessed with the land. For your first crops that you grow, no, the first crops, because you grow your plants, then they said you leave it for 5 years. For the 6th year is the one that you take and you put things in the basket. Then you take it for offering. Then they have to give for God himself to thank you. So it the same thing. It's the same like in our life. Let's say you start doing something as a person, you need to give as an offering to the church or somewhere, and the priest is the one who know how to deal with this situation. And as I say, in the book of Leviticus, God, he was really precisely, and he was really, really saying it without any remorse, to say, if I am a God, don't do this, follow this, don't do this and this and this. You don't need to disobey all my rules. You need to follow all the rules that I say. Let's say like people who do some unnecessary things, you'll be seen as unclean to God. Because even when they're doing this offering, whoever, the priest who is doing it, there's a certain way how he dressed. There's some certain things that he don't need to go to. There's some certain people that it doesn't need to be touched, even animals, even any saucepan, anything. That person must be holy and clean, because I'm God, I'm holy. He keep on saying that. Let's say Moses is preparing all these offerings. He have to wear his clean garment. He mustn't be touched by an unclean woman. He mustn't eat some certain animals with a closed hoof, like pigs. Example, they say pig, they were taking example hares, unclean animals, ostrich, and other things doesn't have any carbs. But sometimes I ask myself, for this generation of ours, we eat anything. We don't even we eat we eat ostrich. We can find ostrich in the shops, rabbits and all kind of things. But in the Bible of Leviticus, I don't know whether God was saying this to the only Israelites, but he stated also to say even a foreign person or learning in the foreign person who are in their land, she have to also not to eat those things. He have to also to obey those things, because in Leviticus 27, concentrate yourself and be holy, because I'm the Lord your God. Keep my keep my decrees and follow them. I'm the Lord who makes you holy. Do you hear that? Is the Lord who makes us holy. So when he make us holy, he wanted us to be always be good and holy. Then he comes also to Leviticus 17. Then he said about the foreigners, don't call foreigners foreigners, call them native born. Yes, anyone, whether a native born or a foreigner who also eat anything found dead, is unclean. So you find any animal just lying and you take it, you go and eat it, that thing is unclean. Yourself will be unclean for some days. Let's say you do something bad. God is saying this most in Leviticus 17 is where he say on 13, he say, an Israelite or a foreign reside among you, who must not eat the blood of any creature. It is the blood of anything. Who eats it must result to be cut off. Because why? God, I think he knows in future he's going to send his son Jesus Christ to come and die for our sins. Because remember Jesus Christ in the New Testament, when he was about to die, to be crucified, he asked people to prepare the bread and to have wine. They said, eat this, this is my blood and this is my flesh. Because I think God, he knows. That's why he emphasized on like Leviticus 17 verse 18 to say, people, do not eat any blood. Even you eat the meat that is uncooked properly, that is bad. That is against God. Because he said, whether you're a foreigner, whether you're a religious, because most is talking to the Israelites, because he said, I'm jealous with you. You are my children. I take you from slavery, and I'm not going to let anybody use you as slaves. It means that the Israelites, they are being favored by God. Any other foreigners you can work as slaves, but the Israelites, no. Or maybe in another way, it means that all the Israel is the people who accept him, those who obey his rules. So say, if you obey my rules, if you follow what I ask you to, if you are holy as me, you are my Israelite. I take you out of the bondage. Because if you see, even the place where was the slavery happening was in Africa and Egypt. When Pharaoh was using people to build whatever, to do whatever they did. But God was not happy, because the children that time when they were in Egypt, they pray to God, they ask you for help from God, and God himself, he sent Moses to go and take them out of that land. So it means that, in another words, is to be the holiness of yourself. If you pray and ask God, even those people that were taken, that I believe there's some people who remain there, those who were not believers, who don't believe God. When Moses comes, say, it seems like when you are sent to go and say, you're a leader, go and take some people somewhere in another place, or people, can you come to the meeting? It's not all people who attend. Some, they'll say, they just ignore you. But those people who were taken for that period, they were blessed and they were chosen ones, because God, he protect them. He blessed them and put the mark on them to say, these are my children. No matter if they mix with other people, I will know them. So as a person, what I say, you need to give your life to Christ. You need to give yourself to God. You need to love your God. You need to trust your God. You need to do what God is asking you to do. If you're a person who doesn't dream or you doesn't read the Bible for this period, I think it's the time you just need to practice. Makes perfect. Sometimes they said Bible is a boring thing to read, but me sometimes I find, or maybe it's this coronavirus, is this lockdown, that makes me to like the Bible more than anything else. I like to read the Bible. I need to understanding. When I started, I said, let me start with verse by verse by verse by verse. I'll be reading and understand. I'll read each and every chapter of the Bible. I started with the Old Testament. With the Old Testament, most of the time you hear the voice of God talking. At the beginning, Exodus, when God created the world, from the world, then he came to Genesis. When he came from Genesis, he came also to Leviticus, when Moses was starting to do all the performance before he went to Egypt to take the people in Egypt. Because that time God was trying, in Leviticus is where you see people, they were sinning, people they were doing, because he said, if people they don't follow what I need, I will do like what I did before. It says in Leviticus 26, God did command to the Israelites, if you disobey, I'll destroy the world like what I did before. It means that these people, the Israelites, the one that they were in Egypt, there were some people before them. So it means that in this world, is God declared this world as it is. The world has been living for years and thousand years. And as our generation will come and go, and every generation will come and go. It says even in Proverbs, every generation of ours will come and go and live for the whoever generation. So that generation who comes, even us, everything is gone out of us, no sign of us. There's a time all of us, this generation of ours, will be demolished. Then they'll be starting another generation. Like now, we don't know in this world. If you look at the world the way how it is, there is earth where us people we are. Maybe God himself, there's another planet where there's some people who are still doing for this. Because in all these offering, God, they used to offer for, it's like almost, they did it for 8 days. Then on the seventh, they did for 6 days, and on the seventh day, Sabbath day, they rest. Moses, they do all the the offering, bending the cow, celebrating. There's a time even when Aaron was asked to do this, he followed all the instructions of offering. Then when he finished, when they were rejoicing, the people that were there, the people from the community, they saw the fire came from heaven, and everyone see it with his eyes, and everyone was happy. They were celebrating. They were joying about that. So what I'm saying today, to this today's lives of our lives, most of the time we read New Testament, but the Old Testament also is carrying. If you read on it well, you hear the voice of God. You say, I'm a jealous God, I'm a holy God. You say, I'm this God, you need to do this for me. If you don't do this, I disobeyed. If you do this, you'll be called unclean. He's saying all these things in the Bible. Yes, in the New Testament, I just want to, because like now I started to understand. I never take it Bible serious. No, I never take it serious. I used to take Bible is just a book, Sometimes I used to find it boring. I would just go, it flicks the pages, go, and close. But now I would like not to read myself. Sometimes I listen to the Bible version. I play on my phone. I'll listen to each and every. I'll take notes. Then I'll go to the verse that I understand and I start checking to say, why, when God was saying this and this and this, so what does it mean to say he was doing this? Even God is said with the food, with the food that we eat like meat. There's some certain meat that is not holy. Pig, he said, is unclean meat. But people will find there's pork chops and bacon and all kind of stuff, sausages. Most of the sausages, 50% of it is prepared by pork fat or pork whatever. But we are still eating it. People that are eating snakes nowadays, they're in China, they eat dogs. They say dog you can't eat, is unclean. You don't eat dog. You don't eat all these bats. You don't eat snakes. You don't eat frogs. You don't eat all. There's some things God is saying don't eat it because they're unclean. If you eat that, your body, you unclean yourself. I don't know whether because maybe if we read if you, I don't know if I say if I don't know. It's up to you yourself the way how you want to. It's because like now this Bible is like you read by choice, whether you want to read it the verse that suits you. Because I sometimes I ask myself with this offering. Most of the churches they do offer. I'm not going against with the offering. The offering for guilt. When you do offering, you know that there's something, the sin that you do. It's not to thanking God. In the Leviticus is saying offering. You're offering for your sin or for your guilt. Maybe to sow a seed. Maybe is a different, because people now they are taking offering and sowing a seed is one thing. And that time when they were offering, I think people they didn't have money. Most of the time they have stock animals like cows, goats, and sheep, because most of the animals that they were used to be offered was the goats and the cows. It mustn't be fat, is what Jesus said. God says, if I say Jesus, is God says. He said, all the fat of the belly and everything must be removed and put it aside. Then you do the leg and the whatever you put in the fire, and you put this. You make your bread without yeast. Everything you put, you offer to your God. So that time it means that God was eating every time. But there is also in there's a book where he said, even if I ask you to say, I need food or I need something, you won't give me. By this offering thing, it was like, I don't want you offering. I'm sick and tired with your offering. I preach about this again. When God himself, because this is in Leviticus, but when he came again to, which book now? I need to look for it. When he said, I don't need your offering, in Psalms 50, you slaughter fed cows and do this for me. I don't need it anymore. It means that our hearts with our generation, our heart is not the same like these people. I know they were sinning, but maybe their sin was even much better than ours. Because as we sin without remorse. That's why I said, if you do something bad, I get angry and I'll send the illness, I'll send the flu, I'll send everything to attack us. It could be this time, this season for coronavirus, is God himself. There's something that we do wrong. So I myself, what I was thinking to say, if it's the case, if in Leviticus they used to do all the offering, I know Jesus Christ, he died for our sins. He was taking his sacrifice. But these people, they never sacrificed once. They used to sacrifice almost every time. When you know you do something bad, when you sin, you're guilty, you need to sacrifice. As Jesus Christ was sacrificed when? This is I don't know how many generations of us now since when Jesus Christ is gone. I think now we need to do something. Just maybe to do a big sacrifice, to find maybe big cows and whatever, to follow what Moses did. Because Moses, every time when he went in the Mount of Sinai, God will speak to him and tell him and give him the regulations, what it needs to be done. So he was so very clever man, because if you're given something and you never forget, you give instruction, do this and this and this and this and this. I don't know whether he was giving in the vision or he was giving in the dreams, or God was talking to him, he was writing down in his notebook. I'm not quite sure, because the instructions, they are too much. You say this, do that, do that. Let me just go on in, let me try to read for you in Leviticus 17. Leviticus 17. I'll use my phone for someone to read, because if I read, my voice will be I will mislead you. So let me go to Leviticus 17. I'm just opening the page for you. Leviticus 17. Okay, this is the verse. I'll start from 1. Then I just want to hear God speaking to the Israelites. Maybe you can get my point, what I'm trying to say.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 1. The Lord called to Moses and spoke to him from the tent of meeting. He said, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when anyone among you brings an offering to the Lord, bring as your offering an animal from either the herd or the flock. If the offering is a burnt offering from the herd, you are to offer a male without defect. You must present it at the entrance to the tent of meeting, so that it will be acceptable to the Lord. You are to lay your hand on the head of the burnt offering, and it will be accepted on your behalf to make atonement for you. You are to slaughter the young bull before the Lord, and then Aaron's sons, the priest, shall bring the blood and splash it against the sides of the altar at the entrance to the tent of meeting. You are to skin the burnt offering and cut it into pieces. The sons of Aaron, the priests, are to put fire on the altar and arrange wood on the fire. Then Aaron's sons, the priests, shall arrange the pieces, including the head and the fat, on the wood that is burning on the altar. You are to wash the internal organs and the legs with water, and the priest is to burn all of it on the altar. It is a burnt offering, a food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. If the offering is a burnt offering from the flock, from either the sheep or the goats, you are to offer a male without defect. You are to slaughter it on the north side of the altar before the Lord, and Aaron's sons, the priests, shall splash its blood against the sides of the altar. You are to cut it into pieces, and the priest shall arrange them, including the head and the fat, on the wood that is burning on the altar. You are to wash the internal organs and the legs with water, and the priest is to bring all of them and burn them on the altar. It is a burnt offering, a food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. If the offering to the Lord is a burnt offering of birds, you are to offer a dove or a young pigeon. The priest shall bring it to the altar, wring off the head, and burn it on the altar. Its blood shall be drained out on the side of the altar. He is to remove the crop and the feathers, and throw them down east of the altar where the ashes are. He shall tear it open by the wings, not dividing it completely, and then the priest shall burn it on the wood that is burning on the altar. It is a burnt offering, a food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. The book of Leviticus. And take it to Aaron's sons, the priests. The priest shall take a handful of the flour and oil, together with all the incense, and burn this as a memorial portion on the altar, a food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. The rest of the grain offering belongs to Aaron and his sons. It is a most holy part of the food offerings presented to the Lord. If you bring a grain offering baked in an oven, it is to consist of the finest flour, either thick loaves made without yeast and with olive oil mixed in, or thin loaves made without yeast and brushed with olive oil.
You hear what I said? With the offering, God gave instructions. Is the way how the offering it has to be done. And the priest, when you're given the offering, all the priest is the one who's going to do. That time they was not saying, Or maybe the prophet will be given, like Moses was a prophet. Then the children of Aaron, they were the priest, is the one who were presented to do all the process, what God is asking, the regulations to be followed. They say, like, when you're offering a ram or a cow or whatever, Moses, you will be given by God to say, do this. And the prophet will be given, then the priest will be deliver all the things need to be done. Even no matter you are offering with the birds, it has to be a dove or a pigeon. So with this offering,